All right, Betsy. So I finally am getting around to looking at these clips here so I can give you some feedback for video stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up I'm going to make three different videos here. I'm going to do one for Cody and Stephanie, that reception, or sorry, not the reception, the ceremony that you helped me film. Then I'm going to do another one for the reception that you helped me film, Manny and Adriana. And then I'll do one more for the prep that you helped me with Nicole getting ready. So anyway, let's get right into it here. I'm just going to go through these clips and play them and just kind of talk out loud while watching them. So overall, the white balance looks pretty good here. It's really tough when it's sunny like this. I mean, you're an artist, you know that. I would say this is a touch overexposed for me. I can always recover the shadows pretty well in video, in post-production, but it's hard to get the if you clip on the highlights, you know, you can't get that detail back, like some of the detail on these guys' face right here. So I would go maybe 2/3 to a full stop lower than this. And I think you have a Mark IV or Mark III, whatever. I forget what you shot this on, but it's got pretty good dynamic range, so feel free to open it up. And I think you shot on a flat profile, but I can't remember. But this looks flatter than like a typical Canon contrasty profile, so. All right, so that's that one. We're just going to keep going here. So, yep, so I would say this is still slightly overexposed. Oh, yeah, there we go. See, you're starting to mess with the exposure here. Hard to say if that was shutter speed or f-stop, but so this looks pretty good. I am noticing, I think this is with you on the monopod, so we got to get you a decent tripod. I've got a couple other ones that you can use when you work with me, so I don't know if you already have one, but yep, so this is just this is pretty unusable right here, the footage, just because it's so shaky. So, but if it wasn't shaky and you were slightly better exposed, this would be fantastic. Okay, I really like this composition right here. That's an unfortunate face. This is good. I like this left third here. You got these guys, if you can like pull really tight focus here, or you know, honestly, like if you open to F8 and then get your shutter speed down a little bit, or even F10, 11, 12, whatever. That's not the worst thing in the world either. I don't know if you have ND filters, but those are nice sometimes. All right, oh, here we go. So this looks pretty well exposed now. So it looks like you nailed the exposure. Yep, so biggest thing on these is just make sure that you're keeping it stable. I like that composition right there. That's good. I like that, yep. Oh, and see, this is so annoying when the sun comes out. See how overexposed his forehead is there? It's like, ugh, you can't win either way. All right, this is the next clip. I was changing exposure so much during the ceremony too. It's obnoxious, but all right. So Stephanie comes down. He grabs her. I would say for this shot, I really like how tight this shot is if you can keep the focus. If not, I would actually pull back a little bit and maybe get a 50. I think you shot this on your 85, right? So maybe I'd grab a 50 millimeter and pull back, or maybe even a 35 and get this a little wider. It's hard to say, right? So, but we can figure that out more as we go. The nice thing is you have a pretty decent number of lenses. Okay. Yeah, so make sure you can either pull focus manually or use the autofocus on the camera there. This is pretty good. It's a little shaky, and then here come the clouds. So, yep. What are you going to do? All right. And then for this, I would say maybe we're waiting for me in the back center to get a shot going, like way back here. But I would say I wouldn't hang out here for very long because this is like right in the way of the front row here. But this is a nice shot overall. I would compose this slightly differently. I would put him right here, and then I would put them right here. So Stephanie here, Cody here. So that way you get a left third composure and a right third composure. I really like this shot. I would go a little tighter on him. I'm just being like super picky here. It's not a bad shot. I really appreciate your ability to shoot. I'm not saying you're a bad shooter. I'm just going to get super nitpicky here. We'll have to get you a nice head for the tripod too, so we can get nice smooth pans. Those are really important for video. This is pretty much unusable here because it's so shaky. Exposure's running a little bright here, but it's so hard outside with the clouds and the sun. Man, this is a nice shot. I feel like the focus is just a touch soft, and I can't tell if that's because of my 5K screen. Let me pull this in a little bit. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm not sure who you're focused in on here. Like, is it pulling focus on the flowers or her knee right there? I can't quite tell. Her face looks a little soft, but nice shot. I'd try to go a little tighter here if you could, just for storytelling, but not a bad shot. I like that. Ah, see, now the clouds are out. This is nice. Okay, see how this looks a little dark and flat? That's actually okay, because what we can do is we can bump the exposure in Final Cut Pro, and we can make this look pretty good. So maybe a touch brighter on the exposure here, but I just want to let you know, like, if this is how you're exposing, this is fine. We can actually work with this. I can add contrast in post and add saturation too. That's a pretty nice shot. Again, I would compose a little more with him, like right here, and then them right here and here. But overall, pretty good shot. Oh, this is awesome. And of course, the sun comes out right after you set your shutter speed here. If it was me, I would move a little left here. If I was running the camera here, I would move a little left, and then I would put her on the left third, and I would try to put him on the right third. I love putting people on the thirds for video. It really helps. It would probably be really hard to get that shot, especially with the focal length you're using here. So maybe what you want to do is move a little left and closer, but you don't want to get in this guy's way or like his wife's way over here. So, but yeah, this is a nice shot. Another nice thing you can do is to have focus on her and then pull focus on him for video. That's like a fun little thing to do with video. Makes it look really good. But love that shot. That's good. Yeah, generally if you can shoot when it's cloudy, that's better. This is a little, this is a little underexposed here, but I can work with this. It's a lot better than being overexposed. So love that shot. It's so bright out. He's like squinting. It's crazy. Oh man, this is a nice shot. I always love this might sound weird. I always love bridesmaids' backs, especially when they have open tops like this. Those are always fun shots. I like that shot. I really like the, you know what we can do here sometimes too? We can actually go, sometimes we can reverse the clip and pull it like you're pulling focus on her. That's good for storytelling. So just keep that in mind sometimes. I might be able to run things backwards, but I really like that shot. If you have a steady pan here, this is total money. Like the pan was perfect, the composition's perfect there. It looks like you're tilted a little bit to the right, like you're a little slanted like this instead of flat like that. But I really like that idea for that shot. You just got to make sure that pan is nice and steady. A nice fluid head will work, will help you with that. But God, they're so expensive. All right. Sorry, my mouse is being a little weird right now. Whoa, that's not what I want. Okay. Hey, look at that guy in the background. This is good. I don't really like this shot only because this might sound weird. There's an empty chair here, and then there's also just kind of like these guys are so tight together in a line, unless you're actually going to pull focus down to him or, you know, like pull focus, pull focus. This shot just feels a little weird. Like we're only filling up this 25% of the shot, and we've got her at decent focus there. Yeah, she's pretty in focus. It looks a touch soft. I don't know if that's just the flat profile picture you're using or what, but anyway. All right. This is kind of a cool shot. If you were going to go for the look of having us looking over his shoulder, I would move him a little more right here. That way it really feels like we are him, like when we're looking at them. But again, cool. Love the composition. That's a good idea. Nice shot. Well exposed too. I can really work with that. This looks pretty good. Maybe I would go a little tighter here. There's also this awkward like mic stand here, like it's just so ugly. If this is a nice slow pan here, minus that mic right there, I love this. Like, just look at this pan here of the bride and groom. That is so good. Love that. So good. And don't feel afraid to like hover and hang for like 5 seconds longer than you feel like you need for video, because I always find myself editing later like, oh man, I wish I just had another 2 seconds. Look at these dudes' glasses. That's funny. Yeah, it's hard to expose when it's sunny. This is probably pretty good. I'd maybe go maybe down just a touch, maybe a third or 2/3 of a stop here, but this is pretty good. Nice shot too. Holding hands. Emotional prayer. Oh, there's mom. Oh, I love weddings. All right. This looks. Sorry, I'm playing with my mouse again. This looks pretty good. Oh, good action shot. Got him standing up. Man, look at the colors on that tree in the background. I wish I could shoot more October weddings. This is great. Yeah, just keep this steady. I really like your use of empty space here too. So this idea in composition, right, where you've got the people, you don't want to put them on the left side if they're looking left, because then it's like there's no empty space here. What's nice is this utilizes empty space really well. This is really well done here. I love the composition. Some people try to put them on the left third. I just think it's terrible. So I like that you put them middle to right third, and they're looking left. If they were looking right, you'd want to put them middle and then left third. But that's really well composed. You definitely have an eye for that, which I appreciate. Oh, going back to the other mom and dad. Love it. Look at this guy chewing gum. I think he's chewing gum, maybe. No, it's just when I zoom it up like this, it looks like he's chewing gum. Zoom it up, speed it up, whatever. Alex reading that. That looks pretty good. The only thing for video that's tough is I like the contrast look. So if we could get a better angle on him, this is white and he's kind of brightly lit too. He's got a dark suit, but he's got a white hair and his face is pretty white. So I would probably go and try to shoot that on the left side. Um, and then I don't like the blurry here. It didn't work super well. And again, like it's hard to get these shots just right, but just some thoughts for composition. Love this. I would stay on them. I would stay on them even longer than you did. So you had this is a 5-second clip here. I would stay on this for 12 seconds, and I wouldn't move. I would just leave it right where it is, because whenever you move, you risk the bumpiness. And so that was a fantastic. I think it was a good reaction from her sister. Yeah, that's a really good smile. I like that smile. So, and the other bridesmaid here. Um, yep. So that one's kind of short, bumpy. Ooh, this is nice. God, that microphone is just hideous and in the way. Yeah, so if I could, I would maybe, I don't know where you are and if you're in the way of people here, but I'd try to move this over just a touch to the left so that we can frame it so that this is just out of frame. So the frame ends right here, and then you still get her on the left third. This is a touch underexposed, but again, I can work with this. Oh, she's crying. This is fantastic. Like when you crop this to a 2.35, like you're probably looking at like this, and then you crop it like right up here. Oh gosh, that is so good. That's a touch underexposed, but fantastic. Fantastic. That was a really nice shot. This is pretty good. I like this. Yep, just keep it steady. Rings. Yep, so just keep it steady. Love the shot. Man, I love the bokeh on your lens. That is just incredible. I'm not a huge fan of the microphone in the shot, but again, it's like there's only so much we can do, right? We're kind of limited on our ability to get a good angle. This is why having really nice or really long focal lenses is really nice and helpful. So, all right, so we got that. Oh, moving my thing here. You know what's really nice sometimes if you have a slider on top of your tripod, this may be long in the future, a couple years from now, is to actually start behind this pillar and then move left and get a shot of them if you can keep it steady. Oh, yep, pull that dress up. But yeah, that looks good. A little underexposed, but we can work with it. Not irredeemable. Did you have auto white balance on? This shot looks a little blue to me. It's not terrible. Like I can color correct it in post as long as it's exposed properly. That lady looks like she's about to sneeze. Um, so yeah, I like that. That's a good shot. You know what would be really cool here would be if you're on her to pull focus onto them. Just keep the camera still and then pull focus on it, and then maybe pan right just a touch. But that's a good shot. I like that shot. Cool. First kiss, nice. On the first kiss, I would not recommend moving at all. It's so hard. It's so different from photography. Like you just move and you're mobile. That's what I love about photography when I shoot. It's like so nice to just move around and get whatever angles you need. Um, but for video, you got to stay still. So, um, man, that looks so good. Love your camera. It's hard to get that shot, especially when you're so tight on your focal length there. That's a nice little shot if you can get it in focus. It's a good looking couple there. Good shot if you can get it in focus. Again, sometimes it's easier to just shoot 35 millimeter on these. And you can keep it open too. You don't have to keep it all the way down at 1.4 or 2.8 or whatever. You can open it up to like f8. Those lenses tend to be pretty sharp actually at f8. And you don't always have to have the super creamy bokeh like we always like. So this is what we call an establishing shot. Basically, you're trying to get the venue here. I don't think this is a super flattering look on this venue, but this venue was kind of hard to get. You know what I would do now for an establishing shot? I would just get a drone and fly it out in that polo field that was out there on the left, like all the way out there, that polo field. That's probably what I would do for an establishing shot here. I actually got a pretty good establishing shot on my stabilizer too. So you're welcome to get like a pan or a tilt up shot like this of the venue, but I found that like the drone and the stabilizer work a lot better for that. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. This is kind of a cool, I actually kind of like this shot. At first I thought, this shot doesn't have a whole lot to it, but you know what you could do if you move up just a touch and you point the camera down a little bit and then you hold it there, you can do in Final Cut Pro what's called a keyframe effect. So what you do basically is, let me see if I can do this real quick. I'm gonna have to pull up, my computer might freak out on this. Okay, 2162. There's a cool thing in Final Cut Pro where you can actually take, since you're cropping in, I'll just show you how to do it real quick. Let's see if I can do this, just so you know. Instead of tilting up, oh my gosh, I just had to update Final Cut Pro yesterday. Instead of tilting up, what you can do is you can actually have the computer do it for you. So that way you just have a static shot on the tripod and you never have to actually tilt up. So let me see. Let me pull up an old project here. Okay, I'm on 2162. I need to remember that number. Okay, let's pull up. No, I can't pull up on that one. Let's pull up these guys. And let's see. I bet I have one in here that I already have a shot like that. Ooh. Let's do Brian and Jessica's wedding. No, I have to update it. Sorry. Oh, hopefully this doesn't take too long. Might take a while. All right, let's go back to our thing here. 2162. All right, how you doing, Final Cut Pro? Oh, you're gonna take a while. Oh no, the spinning wheel of death. That's never good. I have like 8 things going on here at once. Okay, sweet. All right. Yeah, no. We don't need proxy. Just go to the original footage. Okay. So I'll just show you real quick on this specific thing here. So this is the matron of honor giving a toast or whatever. What you can do here is, okay, so see how this is shot in full 1920 by 1080. That's 1.78 roughly is the ratio of that. So this distance here is 1.78 times as long as this distance right here. What we do a lot of times on these is we crop these. So what we'll do is we'll apply a letterbox effect. So this is how you get that like really cool cinematic looking thing. Right now, okay, so 1.78 to 1 is natural. 1.85 is cropped a little. See how it cropped just a touch here? Black. It's kind of hard to see because this is a dark image. 2.35 is going to really crop. So it takes off the bottom part here and the top part here. But what's cool about this is you can zoom in, you can focus on whatever part of the image you want. So watch me pull this offset bar and it moves up and it moves down. And so what's cool on video is, let's say you want to start at the bottom right here. So I'm going to add a what's called a keyframe, and then we're going to let it play. And then what's going to happen is slowly over time, I'm going to actually have the computer program pan up for me so that I don't have to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause here. I'm going to hit another keyframe, and I'm going to tell it to move up like this. And so what will happen here is I'm going to go to the first keyframe. If you watch here, what's going to happen is you're going to slowly see it pan up. Like, the camera is not doing this. It's the computer program that's panning up for you there. So we'll do it on a clip that's a little easier to see. So we'll add this to the end here. So if we come in here, this might be overkill. Sorry if it is, but so I'm going to add this crop in here, and you can kind of focus wherever you want. Like if you want to go to the top of the image, you can go to the top, the bottom, or what you can do is you can set a keyframe, go to the end of the frame or the end of the clip, add another keyframe, and then pull it up. And what happens here is it looks like a natural, see how it looks like the camera's naturally tilting up? The camera's not actually doing that. It's just the program that makes it look that way. So anyway, all that to say, when you have a clip like this, what you can do is you can just set it to record static. Like, don't move the camera at all, don't tilt it up. But what we can do is we can come in and take the clip, and then we'll crop it down to here, and then we'll have it crop at the end up to here. Okay, so I just got home. Let me know if you'd prefer to talk now. I can do either. Cool. I think I'm going to finish recording this so I can send this to you, and we will talk later. This is a decent shot. If I was going to make this shot better, yeah, there you go. I see you getting the exposure there. I would zoom in. I would move closer a little bit on this and just get the two of them together. This kind of like, I'm not really sure what the purpose of this shot is. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of shots you have in photography, you have a purpose for them. So this shot, yeah, there's not a whole lot going on. This isn't really usable as far as like storyline goes, but it's not a bad shot because these two are sisters, so that could be a cool shot. You know, it would probably be better is to stand on the other side of them and get them coming the other way. But, you know, I find that like this time of day where we're getting shots from people right after the ceremony is not super great for video, unfortunately. So that was a cool little interaction between her and Grandma or whoever there. Yeah, this is a little underexposed at first. I saw you trying to save it there. That was cute. I like that. I tried to go a little closer, and also it's a little out of focus here, but that was a really awesome candid shot that you got there. That little conversation with Grandma, that was cute. That was good. He's like in the foreground here, which is kind of annoying, but doesn't bode very well for storytelling. But I just can't take her seriously with those glasses. Decent shot. What's annoying about this is because you're on a hill, you can see the hill in the video, and people realize that subconsciously, and just kind of annoying. So just be mindful of that. Be mindful of things in the background, and this is true for photo too. You don't really want stuff to go through your people's heads. Hopefully you know that already, but all right. Decent shot, kind of the same thing. I would get a little closer here. It's also awkward because you're so much lower than them. And again, there's a lot of empty space up here. So the shot doesn't really add much to the story. Unfortunately, I find it a hard time getting good shots during cocktail hour too. This is a little better. Again, I can tell you're under him, and it just feels weird. It's like an awkward angle. So look, good conversation though. Oh, that was a good laugh. Yeah, that was great. Maybe if you get that on the side, that'd be a little better. Good exposure there. This is a little bright. So the video is being a little weird on me and cut out there, but we're gonna keep going here. Yep, so same thing I kind of said earlier. We're a little below these guys, so it's a little hard to kind of see what's going on. Just an awkward angle. Decent conversation though. Little overexposed, but it's hard because that sun just keeps coming out on you. Yeah, see, they're putting their sunglasses on too. This is kind of a cool shot. Again, I feel like we're kind of level with their hips here, so if the camera's up just a touch higher, that'd be better. This is really good exposure right here that you got. Yep, just make sure you keep that camera steady. Yep, again, the looking up is a little awkward. This is also kind of like awkward here. Like I can't tell where level is. I feel like the camera's slanted a little this way, just a touch, and maybe it's not, but it's just kind of hard to tell. Oh, this is a cool shot. I don't like this guy, his back right in the picture here, because like really, who's your subject? It's clearly this guy. This is where your attention is drawn in the frame. So if you're going to do that. Maybe move closer, like come up by this flower pot here and look at that guy. I do actually like your angle here. I notice how you're not above him. You're actually kind of level with him. I really like that. And it's good that they're not looking at you too, which is nice. That's exposed really well too. All right. We got some nervous finger twitching here. But it's a pretty good shot. I kind of like this. I'd maybe wait until that sun goes away if possible. Yeah, see, you're exposing a little better here. That's good. Yep, just keep it steady. Again, I like that you have them looking this way, but you put them on the right third. That's good. Good technique. Again, I don't really like their backs, so if you could either go all the way behind them or like kind of more to the side over here, that'd probably be a little better, but it's not a bad shot. I like this shot. The only thing I don't like about this is this guy wanders into the frame here, and I generally don't like people coming into my frame, but that's just me. This is a nice little shot. Very windy. This is exposed really well. Maybe it could be a touch brighter, but that's a nice little shot. That's nice, right? They're just kind of holding their arms. If it was me, see how your this is your foreground, your background's over here. You want to be able to see like what are the people in the foreground looking at? They're looking over here. So what you want to do is make sure that you put them like about right here, and then make sure your background is actually filling in over here. So what you'd want to do is you'd want to step to the right here a little bit. Maybe move it just a touch closer to them. But kind of a cool shot. I like that. Yeah, see, this is it. You realigned and now you're there. I really like this shot. That's good. I would maybe shoot a little longer. You only got like 2 seconds here. So I always try to shoot longer than I feel like I need. Same sort of thing. It's a cute little shot. What you could do here to make this even better is to move just a touch closer to these guys and put them in the foreground on the left with them in focus, and then you can pull focus on these guys in the background. That would be a really cool shot. I really like this, the look of the shot. This is some nice colors. It's exposed pretty well. Maybe a little bright, but it's hard, right? Because if you expose for her, then these guys are super dark. But if you expose for them, like you can't even see her back or her hair. So it's kind of annoying. This is kind of a cool shot. I like this. What I would do on this is I would get a little closer and see if I can zoom in, because these guys are only taking up about, 10 or 20% of the frame here. So you just want to make sure that you fill the frame or that you utilize your empty space well. Same thing, good exposure. Again, this is just a little awkward because we're kind of looking at their backs here. And so I'd maybe move a little to the right here and be able to see what they're looking at. I also don't like it because you have a guy in the background and you're kind of like, huh, what's he doing? And then you're also kind of like, what's this random paper doing over here? So just about being purposeful with your shots there. Yeah, see, there you go. So you have that same eye I do. I like this on the side here. What's cool is you can do this, take this shot, and then go back to your other shot we were just looking at a minute ago. This one right here. Nobody would know that this shot actually came before your second one, right? But you can shoot here and then go back to the other one, and it makes it look really awesome and natural. Good storytelling. Shaky, shaky, shaky. Love when the clouds come out. It makes the video look really nice. It's easy to get the exposure right. And now it's sunny. Fill the frame with those guys if you're going to shoot with them. Same sort of stuff. This is nice because we're actually a little higher than them. So you could come down just a touch, but if you're going to be either higher or lower, I would go a little higher. This shot's a little awkward. And the reason why is because we're not filling the frame with like the flowers. There's a lot of empty space over here, and we're not really doing much with it. And so this feels a little awkward, but I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be like looking at the flowers or like her arm and shoulder or like her boob right here. Like it's a little confusing for the audience what they're supposed to look at. So if you just zoomed in like and focused just on the flowers here, it'd be a really phenomenal shot. It's a touch underexposed and it looks a little cool, but this could be easily fixed in post. This isn't unrecoverable, but just keep that in mind. If you can try to nail exposure in camera, it makes life a lot easier afterwards. Oh, Siri spelled your name wrong. This is kind of a cool shot. Wow, you must be open all the way to like f1.8 here. Kind of hard to really see much of a story going on here with them and these guys in the foreground. It's kind of hard when this guy jumped into your foreground there, so that's a little tough. Hey, I really like these shots of the drinks and stuff. I would actually go super zoomed in and really get that bokeh in the background, that blurry background. So, yeah. And then again, you're still a little underneath where this lady and this guy are, so it just looks kind of awkward, just the angle there. But it's hard to like get a good angle, right? Because this is probably back up against the ledge there. So, but if you could get up level with this and get super zoomed in on some of these drinks and do some pull focus, rack focus, if you've ever heard of that, those look really good. So, again, I don't really like people's backs. It's kind of hard to tell the story here. Maybe this would look better with them in front. Also, what's hard about this clip is see how bright the background is and how dark these guys are. That's the opposite of what you want. You want a well-lit subject with a dark background, generally. So just keep that in mind. Same thing, shooting a little low. Yeah, this problem's even more pronounced now. Like this dude's dark and the background's super blurred out. It's just no good. It's really hard in video because you don't get flash. Like in photography, you get flash and you can really brighten up your subject and make the background dark. Not with video though, unless you have lighting. This looks like a decent conversation. This looks kind of cool. You got some blurred stuff in the background, so you really kind of feel like almost like a voyeur just kind of looking in here. Just keep it steady. That might be usable. Make sure you nail that focus on that guy's face. It looks a touch soft right now. I'm not sure if that's just the camera or the fact that I have a 4K screen and I'm looking at a 1080 video, but it's not bad. Again, also get level with his eye. I generally don't get people drinking. I mean, obviously you can film it if they're drinking, but I usually don't include it in the highlight video. I think the next clip is pretty good. Yeah, this is a pretty good clip right here. Her face looks a little dark, but again, it's like, how do you expose, right? The background's just blown out here, but her face is a little dark, so it's hard. It's hard sometimes. Wow, she's got some RBF there. Oh my God, look at my nephew. Oh my God, look at this picture. Look at this. Anyway, same shot from earlier. A little bright on this. I really like this shot. This is a good shot. Oh, make sure you get that focus pulled. Sometimes it's hard to pull that focus. Wow, these guys are so loud. They need to calm down. I'm wearing headphones right now. They're like screaming in my ear. A little overexposed there at the end. This is a nice little shot. I feel like you could use that in the highlight video. Nicely done. All right, so I think that's it. I think that's all of them. So yeah, overall, not bad. What's really nice is if you change just a couple of those minor things, it'll really help the footage look even better. So